Hi everybody, welcome back to Sid's Modern Life, episode 112, season 2, with me, Sid, and we are still on the good old planet Earth. Radiation is, I think we're at 26%, I've slept 3 times, and if we head over to our gunpowder farm, which is not being very effective, I have to admit. I did a little small amount of AFK here, not a vast amount, but I mean, actually, that is not bad, you know. I think I could stand here for a good length of time. Now, I have put a little AFK chamber in with a slab roof and some glass, so in the event of anything untoward happening, which I can't see how it could possibly happen, given pardon me, given the construction of the beast, there are no spawnable spots on this platform other than in the actual farm itself, which is exactly what it should be. So this is working, and we can forget about this now. Oh no, we're fine. Over here, you will recall we created this rather splendid launch mission control thing, and it heads over here. It moves up towards this area where we have got a series of stairs heading up onto the launch platform itself, and obviously our rocket. This tank here is, if I remember rightly, oil we've got in there. Obviously you can't see what's in there because it's sealed. It's probably a slight mistake in the construction, and we do have a little bit of slate left here. So my intention today is to work on this yard area, and also, well, yard thing, this area here. Bring it in, get some fencing around this. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do it. I'll probably, well, I'll work it out. We probably need to come at least at oh, hang on, yeah, of course, I'm going for me shovel, and of course I don't have a shovel anymore. I just have a drill, which has to be said is working really well. I took it to do, because I've only got a little bit of slate here, which really isn't going to be enough to do what I want to do around the place. However, if we were to go and look inside of here, you'll notice I've got a little bit more. So yeah, that is a thing. I went and did a little excavation session while we were between episodes, and consequently we have got, I think, now do I want to bring, I think this does need to be in the actual structure. And that's not a problem. We can work this ground in. So what I need to do is I need to basically take out all of this grass and replace it with slate. So that's my first job. I'll get that done. Be back in a moment. All right, and with a little bit of building gadget magic and a little bit of patience, we have an area marked out with slate. So this is now all done. I expanded out this way to give us more space over there and just sculpted that back a little bit. And the next thing we need is some kind of fence, I think. I think we're going to put an entrance here. I may use something similar to this with these jail doors, which work really well. I mean, obviously we can fly over, and we'll probably put a smaller door back here as well with a path in. Now I did look with some seriousness at DecoCraft. DecoCraft has a rather nice little thing. It is in here under there, barbed wire fence and chain link fence. These are really expensive. They're 1 block wide. They don't look particularly brilliant, so I've discounted those completely. However, we will be using some of the stuff from these areas where you've got, you know, maybe not a litter box and metal, maybe not this kind of stuff, but there will be bits out of this that will be useful. Not sure or which, but we'll find some. Telegraph pole could be fun. Fire hydrants. There's all sorts of stuff in deco craft that will be useful. Concrete barriers, dumpsters, all of the usual good stuff like that. So I thought about how I wanted to achieve the look that we want to do, and I kind of have fallen back on an old faithful. Now, we use this technique in Sevtech, and basically it is using chisels and bits, chiseled glass. This stuff looks like a nice mesh. It works, it does the job. And what I would like is something in black concrete, I think. Maybe not quite that much. We'll also want some, I think we will use some brick. I don't think have we got the dark bricks? Yeah, let's do some of those actually. I like those better. And we need a bit of limestone. Oh, man, if I could type. Lime. Just a tiny bit. And we need some jail doors. I've got one. I could do with another two. That should. Oh, we're going to also need some buttons. Of the stone variety. What have I got? What does that do? Wow, it's got a fairly long action on it, and it's not actually sending a redstone signal, which seems somewhat strange. Does actually send a redstone signal then, okay. Just doesn't seem to want. I'm not going to use those. When you don't know exactly what the mechanics are behind something, sometimes it's better just stick with what you know. We'll have 3 of those and then some pressure plates. I would like some obsidian pressure plates if you don't mind. In there somewhere, there we go, and we want 1, 2, 3 of those, and we should be okay. I thought it was turning night out there, but obviously I was wrong. Shoo! Armed with all of this, we can now come in and say I would like to place a brick gate here. We'll go 3 high like we did over there. I do like these bricks more than those ones. I wish I'd use. You know when you look back at something and you go, why didn't I use those before? Like a so. We can stick our gates there and there. And there. Stick our little pressure plate there. And our button there. That does the job. Give us 2 choices on that side and also 2 pressure plates there. And then it's just a matter of chiseling those down and making them into the caps like we got over there. Now, in terms of the fence, it's going to be, I think, we'll take it 3.5 high. So if I were to go and take that, well, hang on, let's try this. Okay, let's sleep. Now, as I say, you've seen this before. I've used the technique before and it works. I don't think I need to go into any great elaboration of the detail of the process, but we shall do a section together. I need, if I haven't got the tool bag, I need the tool bag, and that will give me my chisel. I'm going to need a new one of those. Oh, I've got one. All right then. I'm going to need that. I'm going to need a couple of chisels and bits bags. And we are going to take you, and we shall take a plane and go 1, 2, 3. Now, so to get the post, I like to kind of work my way up on it, and that's still going to be too fat. Oops, undo. 1. So that should be 4 off of that side, 4 off of that side. That's got 5 off of that side. That's there. Still too big? Still too big. Maybe like that. That has a feel of a reasonable post. And then what we will do is we'll take you away for the moment, and we shall let me just drop some of this bits off over here because this is getting a bit messy. Let me take you out of you and you, and I don't really need that yet, but I will do going forward. That slate can go away as well. Excellent. And that can go in there. Right, that gives us a little bit more wiggle room. So running down here, what we can what we will do then is we'll take this and we shall chisel these as whole blocks. So just so we've got the pieces. And then we'll take which side there? I think we'll do it there, and we'll put a line in, and if I can get this right, there. So that's going to be, oh, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Oh, connected material, take that out and build this up. How much further do we have to go? 2? There. So this can also be built up. Once we've got this set in place, we can duplicate it fairly quickly with this. So we're going to take you, put you into placement mode and do that, and then that, and a half. I think a half, not full, a half block on that one. We'll chisel that in. This will go all the way around, and yeah, let me get that done. I'll be back in a second. All right, fence is in. I'm just running around the outside, bringing all of, so rather than have this block come all the way out, I'm bringing the bit of chisels and bits magic in here to, oops, basically take this block and take it all the way back to the fence so the grass goes right up. I just think it looks nicer. It's what I did on that fence over there, and I did notice there was a spot that I need to fix that on as well. So this is reasonably straightforward, nothing major happening here. Over there, that's where we've got the issue. Oops, undo. Yeah, there. I think that was it. So that gives us, oh right, we're out of, okay, that's fine. We can soon fix that. Let's go and find ourselves a convenient dirt block or two, like that one will do there. Maybe that one as well. There we go. Yeah, we're good. So that gives us the wall. Now, one of the reasons I wanted this space is I want to invest some time in generating oxygen. Now, there's 2 ways to do it, and I'm going to do both. One is on the earth here, which, with a degree of wonderful irony, is actually not the most efficient way of doing it. Believe it or not, you will generate more oxygen in space than... Oh, I've just chucked those into the wrong thing, doesn't matter. You'll generate more oxygen in space than you will do in an oxygen environment such as this. Anyway, I happen to quite like that. I also quite like... I'm not sure which is the better. Let me just go and have a quick check. White concrete powder. That was the other one I wanted to check. Yeah, drop down there. If I look for some white concrete powder, I think I prefer the white concrete powder actually, so that's where we'll go. We'll take a little bit more. We don't need a lot of this, but and I'm going to take that, and we're going to try and get I'm not going to get all of these done this episode because this is going to be a pain, but for example, what I might like to do is perhaps if I were to come in here and go and take that across there and then go connect to texture and just come all the way across like that, maybe then go to line. That might make life a little bit easier, and then we can repeat all the way across this doorway. Doesn't matter if it goes a little bit under the door, under the walls, we'll live with that. Now actually I don't even need to do that. What I can actually do now at this point is I can go and put that in there and then grab you and go copy, paste, paste, paste. And if I'm... here's the question. Because that kind of lines up too perfectly with that door. So let me clear that. If I were to go and take that out and then extend that out a little bit like that and then pop that back, and then we grab this and repeat this all the way across, and then maybe do that as well, then we can do the same here, because that door obviously is designed to open. But then the other thing I wanted to do is, now here's going to be an interesting one. So I'm going to take you out. I'm going to pop, I think the easiest way to do this is probably pop a line in like that. And then do that. And then maybe we shall copy that and repeat it every other, all the way across here. I have no idea what these lines and markings mean, by the way. I'm just trying to get something that gives the impression of, you know, marking this terrain out a little bit better. Now we could potentially repeat this all the way across here as well, and on the other side. And it just kind of adds some character to this floor, which I think these big grey expanses of terrain probably need that, because it is quite dull. And we can add other markings and other floor markings in with maybe other colours, maybe yellow for it. Oops. Okay, undo. I think I've run out of this. That's fine. So that kind of works as a design. We've let's see, 19%. Woohoo, 5%. Of course, 5% is 5% of 20 is 19, isn't it? It's 1%. I should know that one. It's a 20-sided dice mathematics. So we can get all this stuff going. Now, there are a few things I would like to try, and they are going to require me to tidy my inventory a little, and we are going to need to build some stuff. So let me just sort myself out just a teeny bit, and I shall be back with you in a second. Alright, so I'm making an oxygen collector. I think I want that will make me one. I actually want 4 of these, so I need 3 more of those. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and that should give me 2, and then we just need to make another one of those, which will give me 2 more of those. So we've got the oxygen collector. We need to... How do I want to play this? I need to get the sheet steel. I'm making a tank. I'm going to have a few of these, but the idea is we need 34 and 4 of those. We've got that. I need some glass tubing. I don't know whether I think it's glass desk. Cool. Not what I wanted, but where are you? You are from Galacticraft. Hang on. He probably got some electricity over there. I also need some power secondary. I think I've got that on me as well. We've got a little bit of second cable. And I should have a cables bag here, which has got first and second. That's fine. So the last thing we need is that, and we also need a flux point. Okay. Now, which... Your turbine, I'm going to go for turbine. We've got any statistics there? Input, output. So there's very little happening on that network. That has got more happening, and that turbine 2. We'll go with turbine 2. So the thoughts are that we can generate oxygen. I'm going to try this one over here, I think, actually. Just about here. Yeah, no, about there. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, that works. Then we go 1, and then 1, and build the tank. And then like this on the top. We should have an immersive engineering bag here with a hammer, which we can go boop, and there we go. Now, put that away, and put that away for now. We don't really need either. Possibly a bit close to that, but I don't know whether we'll get away with this or not. Hang on a second. First things first, we need that fluid pipe, which I think will be in our chest up here, if it's anywhere. How are we doing, gentlemen? Busy as always, I see. Alright, fluid, there we go. I think we probably only need one of those. It all depends on how this starts to fall into place. So if we get this and place you on there, and then we get you and we place you that way around. I know there are ways to rotate this, but so you get that going on. Then we go to cables and we grab our second cable, and we go 1, 2. Now this is going to look a bit odd because these cables are not, in my opinion, they're not the nicest cables. I've seen nicer ones. But it does mean that we can come over here on this one, pop that on and go, I said turbine 2, didn't I? And this is all starting to pull in oxygen, and that is going into this tank. And as you can see, that will store 512 buckets, I think it is. Is it? It'll store a lot of millibuckets of oxygen, which we can pipe into orbit. I don't like that though. That looks horrible. You know what? For the sake of a few flux points, I think it would look nicer with flux points on it. Let's go and have a peek. Get me some flux points, please. Flux points, 3 of them. Thank you. Create. 2, 3. There we go. Right, let's go and try this a little bit with a slightly less ugly wiring, because that looks vile. Okay, so we're going to pop that out of there, and we are going to pop one of those in there, and you are going to be on that, and done. And then we can, oh, bum. Okay, yeah, that was a mistake. I'm going to get these done first, and then I'll attach that, I think, and re-hammer the thing. Fortunately, it's, apart from the power, it is free, so yeah, it's not the end of the world. That will look better. In fact, yeah, that will look actually pretty damn good, I think. Network, that one, and let me just hover down and do select network, that one. We'll name these in a moment, and we'll get my immersive chest thing back, grab our hammer, and we shall reconnect it, and the world shall be good and happy, and it will generate oxygen at a fair old rate of knots. So that's one of the solutions I've got for oxygen production, and we'll probably have 3 or 4 of these setups are down here on the planet, filling this tank, and then we'll export out to ender tanks. So I can repeat that. Certainly we can repeat it over here. We've got plenty of space for that. If we go 1, 2, 3, we can get there, and that gives us plenty of space there. We can put another one on the other side of that. That'll give us 3, maybe even 4. Yeah, let me work on those. I'll be back in a second. Alright, well there you have it. We have oxygen for days. Now there is a slight issue with these oxygen collectors, and that is this. These continue functioning and draining power from the system even when this is full. I don't believe we can turn these off with redstone. Whether we can do anything with these, whether we can actually control these, you know, on or off is another matter. I honestly don't think. However, it's not a major issue. We're generating far more energy than we're using. I haven't relabeled these, and that is a thing I must do before we get any further, but that will give us 2,048 buckets of oxygen available to pipe somewhere, wherever we need them. I put the other rocket down here as well, just to give us a little bit more stuff. What we should probably do is, before we finish off, just let's go and have a quick peek at the options for deco. Suicidal fish. Deco craft options over here. So if we go through, and I mean obviously music not relevant, bathroom not relevant, bedroom not relevant, miscellaneous. So I'm going to take a dumpster. I'm going to take a red bin and a recycle bin. I'm going to take a few of those, I think. How are we doing for clay in there? We haven't got a huge amount, so we may need to get some more. Cones, no. Don't think any of that's really what I'm after. Mailboxes, not overly appropriate. I'm not worried about that right now either. I don't think there's anything there. Razor wire and stuff, not strictly applicable. Holiday stuff, kitchen, no. Lighting, living room, marketplace. I can't imagine that many space things have barber's chairs in the middle of them, so yeah, none of that really helpful. Stone lantern. I wonder if that emits light. I'm just curious. I'm not going to place it, but oh, voodoo. Wow, we've got some new religious stuff. I hadn't noticed those before. Sciencey stuff, probably not applicable here. Signs, honestly, don't know whether we find a use for those or not. Sports equipment, no. Stairs, no. Storage. See, these would be good if they were metal barrels, but they're not. I could take a few of those though, I suppose. Technology will almost certainly have nothing appropriate for what we're doing. That's the internal side of an air conditioning unit, isn't it? I'll take one of those for the actual inside of the space base, actually. I never spotted that before. What we should also do is stick to a tradition that we kind of set for a while ago, which was periodically to just hide a toy of some description in, of appropriateness. Yard is almost certainly not going to have anything of that we want either. Alright, well, that gives us something to play with. Let's just go and have a quick peek at what we can do with these. And we also need to light this area because at the moment it is not spawn safe. Neither is this roof, actually, which we need to take into account. This is because we've got a couple of arc lamps on the end here as well, so that's a good thing. Right, so if I were to come down here and go, let's try this for the time being, just out of interest. It does not emit light, or if it does, no, it doesn't, does it? Okay, that's fine. We'll pop you away. I'm going to stick a couple of these, not this end. I don't think they'd be appropriate over there, but we could certainly try this kind of thing, maybe, if I can do that. Around the back here we'll stick a dumpster and a green bin and a red bin. Aircon unit can go inside. We still need to light it up, but that's fine, we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll just pop that there, doesn't really matter. And of course, for maximum effect, we also need to make sure that this is placed somewhere. So we'll just we'll hide you there, and that just wants to get out my life. Right, now the other thing we need then to finish off this episode is to get this properly lit, for which we will grab the usual bits and pieces, literally bits and pieces, if you'll pardon the pun. I do apologise. Right, so let's go in here. We'll do the usual trick, and I'll kind of cover these back over next once I've worked out where they're all going. Be back in a second. Alright, and that is about it. So we should be able to sleep, and that will reduce our radiation to 15%. Now a few more nights sleep and we should be back down to 0, which would be nice. I do need to put some lighting up here, and I think we're going to just head over very briefly and maybe a little bit of glowstone going here. Glow. And if we have a look at the various uses for glowstone, we obviously know that there's a whole load of lights, if I can find them. Oh man, problem is all these all dictionary things. Let me just have a look at modern, that's probably easier. At modern lights, so if I want that one, I want to make 1, 2, 3, make me, I don't know, maybe some of those, and I'd also like a few of those. I know I've got loads on this space station, that's not an issue, but it's just, for me, a lot easier to do it this way, like that, rather than chasing all over the shop for them. So I have got some lighting hidden in the roof here, but what I wanted to do is, for starters, hang on, which one's which? That's the bottom one. Starters, let us just come in here and place that. I know it's hovering. We shall live with that little fact, but it will hopefully just give these a little bit of something going on there. I think we're okay at that. Now the other thing, because we've got this up here, is I kind of wanted to play around with this idea of antenna sticking up. Now they don't have to be particularly, I could have done these with chisels and bits, of course, but I just thought this would be interesting as an alternative. Wires sticking up off the thing there. So that's that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do next episode. We do need to wire these into some tanks. I'd like to get my radiation down to 0 before I head back into space, and yeah, maybe decorate this a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe even have a work over there or get the paths in. There's plenty of things to do. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.